Education is a big topic here at the conference, and joining me now is John Austin. He is the president of the State Board of Education. John, thanks so much for joining me.
Good to see you, Christy.
So what conversations have you been a part of that are centering around education?
Big one that I've wanted to have and have been having with some of the governor's people and other folks here. Everyone cares about education. Is let's reboot the effort to really fundamentally examine how we organize schools and how we finance them. We need to recommit to funding public education. We're seeing a lot of districts, including my own in Ann Arbor, that are having to cut dramatically, arts, music, and even teachers. We've been cutting funding, basically, for education, both K-12 and higher ed, for years, and we're suffering because of it. And everybody here appreciates that education and better support and success for our young people is our future, so we need to figure out how do we rally ourselves to organize learning so that it works and deliver the resources necessary to make it happen.
Okay, so organizing the learning is one part of it, and then I think the funding is also one part of it. The governor would probably argue with you that he has bumped up spending for K through 12 for the last 2 years, and they just had a budget right now where they gave us a small increase. Do you think that's not enough?
Definitely not. I mean, the little bit of increase right now doesn't even cover the cost of living increase. So we've been cutting education, but we've also simultaneously we have been expanding new schools, new charters, without any quality control. And one of the things that I'm suggesting, and I think the public understands, is we need to create new quality schools, particularly where we need them, where schools have failed. But we don't need to create new schools, whether it's online schools or charter schools, that deliver demonstrably bad education. Last year, the legislature lifted the cap on charters and rejected any quality control, meaning operators of charter schools like the Leona Group that we know don't educate kids. We're not precluded from opening more schools. We don't need any new bad schools that don't educate kids, that also take taxpayer dollars, leaving the Albions of the world, where they just closed their high school, leaving the Ann Arbors, leaving the Pontiacs with less resources to serve kids that are still there. And so we have to re-examine our policy for school choice. We need more choices, but they have to be quality. And I'm for charters and for new choices, but we have to have quality control on new choices, and we have to figure out how to fundamentally reinvest in education so that we can afford great teaching, we can afford counseling. Career counseling, folks here, business leaders say, is the key. It costs money. We don't have any counselors left in our schools practically, and we expect more help in guiding our young people to successful careers.
Let me back up to something that you said, that we need better education for some of those lowest performing, the poorest performing schools. So are you in support of the Educational Achievement Authority?
Absolutely, and the Education Achievement Authority is needed. We need to be serious about rebooting and turning around with an effective learning program the schools that are failing. The problem that happened with this Education Achievement Authority is last fall, as it was in the legislature for codification, it got tied up in this new school creation other agenda. So they loaded up.
So they tossed it out then.
So it became a target of suspicion versus something that we should rally around and make happen. So that's unfortunate, because we have to be serious about turning around failing schools. We also have to be serious about, as a state, providing the resources to afford good teachers and provide some positive lift for our public schools, which are hurting.
What can you, in closing, what can you say to Michigan parents out there right now about the quality of education that their children are getting?
The quality of education is good, but it's not good everywhere, and we're not helping it when we dismantle our public support for education. Everyone wants their schools to succeed, and so they're willing to support even more money, I think, the public, for paying for excellent teaching and learning. That's what we have to make happen.
John Austin, thanks so much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of the conference and have those conversations that you want to have about education reform. We appreciate it. You're watching our live coverage of the Mackinac Policy Conference. We'll be right back. Stay with us.